Cool. So we are live. Live. Okay, folks. So we are gonna start now because it's already 5 minutes past. Welcome to another bi-weekly meeting of the Maintainers Growth Working Group. I'm gonna start sharing my screen as usual. But before anyone has a question, something urgent that needs to be said now before we move forward. Cake? What is this cake? Good, Sally.
It just seemed more fun than a regular emoji.
Yeah, he does.
Let me just announce we are now in the meeting because okay. Start sharing screen, Sergio, please. Someone should allow me to do that. Ace. I am no one. I have no permissions.
Yeah, I would do it, except I'm apparently not signed in. Let me know if I need to sign in or if Face can do it. Ace, are you alive? Need permission for sharing. Oh, yeah. That's weird. I wonder if the internet is slagging on his end. I can try to sign in and join again.
Okay, please. Thank you. I have permission now.
Now.
Yes.
Oh, well. At least I'm signed
Hey.
in.
So you did the permission stuff?
Oh, I thought Ace had done it already for you because you're sharing the screen.
Yeah. Ace did, but okay. Let's start. So it's such a weird start. So Q&A, nothing. We say nothing. There is nothing to share. So let's start by reviewing the next topics. But before, we are gonna review our board, and our board is located here. Gonna share in the chat for you. Okay.
Oh, I'd actually tagged you in our maintainers Slack channel with a link to my draft, but I didn't hear back from you, so I thought maybe you hadn't seen it.
Yeah, I did, but I didn't comment.
You just ignored me. Okay, all good.
No. I wanted to. I mean, there is this
Yeah.
topic here that I added, so we can talk about it later. Very quickly reviewing what is in progress. So finally, the draft that Ace created, it seems to be ready to go. Only have my +1, but we decided last meeting that the deadline was like, I think last Monday from last week, something like this. So this is how it is, and it has been like reviewed by several iterations. I, as far as I remember, only Quetzali and me provided some feedback. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's okay. So Ace, I don't know if you are here.
Yes, am I audible?
Okay, yes, perfectly.
Get my camera to work, so
Do you mind sharing what are the next steps for this? So what are you gonna do?
So since everything is ready, I just have to make it into a discussion.
I thought. Okay. You mean a GitHub discussion? Do you mean a GitHub discussion?
No. Available?
I think so, but not so well.
Okay. You were saying?
Now, yes, that now it's brilliant.
Okay. So what was the question, Sergio?
Yeah. So the question is, so now we have to move this into a GitHub discussion.
So I really don't know if a discussion would be the best place
Yeah.
to put it. But I also don't have a better idea. So
Why don't we? Can we write a blog post? But maybe it's too much, right?
Zali, what do you think?
I mean, I actually think it's a good idea to write a blog post. Do you want me to just write it based off what you wrote there, or do you want to make this your blog post?
I think maybe this should be the blog post, but I mean, if it is a blog post, then it would probably be easily accessible. Then we can just like share links and stuff. But me writing this initially, I didn't write it with the idea of it being a blog post, right? I wrote it with the idea of it being a GitHub discussion.
Right, I forgot about that.
Yeah, but maybe we can do both, right?
Yeah.
And honestly, I think if you just do a discussion, we're gonna have the same problem we always have, where sometimes we get responses, sometimes we don't really get any involvement. But if you make this into at least also a blog post, it'll definitely get more visibility. I mean, I like the idea of doing both, since you said that this was originally supposed to be a discussion. But I like the idea of giving it visibility with a blog post. I don't see why you couldn't just basically use this as is for both. It's not necessarily rewriting a whole new thing at all.
Yeah, and I think being a blog post also, it would be easier for like async API to, I mean, the official social media handles to also promote it.
Yep.
Cool.
Bami, do you have any opinion? Bami, are you there?
You're on mute.
Yes. Hi, everyone. I kind of like miss part of the question. What was the question again, please?
So we have these drafts that announces the working group, the maintenance working group. So initially we had the idea of making this a discussion, but now that we are thinking about for the sake of promotion and visibility, we also think of making it into a blog post.
Yes, of course, for the visibility purpose, yes, blog post would be amazing. And then we can also share the blog post on our socials. So for visibility's sake, I'd say blog post as well.
Awesome.
Sorry.
Yeah, so I also think the fact that if it is in a blog post, it would also, come with newsletter, I guess.
So to go to the newsletter, and it also be like easily accessible.
Yes, than a GitHub discussion. So we can just do both.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
we are having some YouTube comments, I guess, from Tuli. I was close to say to wait for Tuli also opinion, but most probably we will find that like right. So I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna open it here because could be like I don't know if you have access to comments directly, Ace.
Yes, I can do that. So I don't think we have to like share the YouTube stuff. So
All the way. Nice work. So good.
What?
So. Wow. Take a break.
wait, Ellie, you're not muted.
Sorry. My dog jumped on top of me.
I was like, is it me that I opened YouTube, for checking the comments, and I was like, what is the video that this is being played?
I'm so sorry. I'm muting myself.
Oh. Okay, so
Okay.
Tuli say do both. It's easy for promotion as well. And Lucas say, yo,
Exactly.
that's it.
Yo, Lucas.
Yo, yo. Yeah. So
Okay, cool. So that's it. I'm gonna write it here. What happened here? It's fine. Cool. So next thing. What is next thing? Ba, 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 ba. Yes, we will come to this later because it's another topic on the agenda. Copy docs from .github to community content bucket. Okay, I already created the issue. At the beginning, I created with let's open here. Having in mind the bounty program. This is the issue. Let me share. But finally, I remove it because the work is almost done. It's just almost copy pasting kind of a workflow and changing both like minimum things. There is only one pending thing that we have to decide. We have a user, well, Akshit Gupta, sorry for the pronunciation, that asked to work on it. And there is one question that we have to answer. That is about where, so how the docs will be, where docs will be located in .github repo, like should be in the root readme or rather in a subdirectory or whatever. So I'm talking about the docs we want to copy from .github repo to the community content bucket, which at the end will be pushed as well to the website. So I answered that. I don't know what I thought it would be the best, just to don't block, but that we can write docs on another directory in .github repository, so everything is written there will be used for that. So we can add a link, or we can add all of that documentation, the workflow documentation on .github repo under /docs directory, for example. I don't know if you don't think it should be there, just jump into the
I think
issue.
I do agree with you, Sayo. I think the best place is to actually have like /docs directory.
Yes, I agree. I think we need a directory called docs in .github as well. My only concern is how this is going to work and also things like page weight and order. So for example, the new docs that we're going to add about maintainer workflows and GitHub actions, those all are going to go underneath a new directory for maintainer onboarding guide. So I would want to create my draft, for example, inside of .github/docs, and inside of /docs, the new docs directory, I would want to create the maintainer onboarding directory. And then I believe I would add my page weight there so that when it gets copied over eventually to the website repo, it is organized in the order that I wanted to. So do we see how it says onboarding guide? We actually have a technical writing onboarding guide. And we discussed the last meeting, I think, that I want to update this to say technical onboarding guide, technical writing onboarding guide. But just like the onboarding guide is there, right, directly underneath the /docs directory and community, the new docs for workflows and GitHub actions would also go inside a folder there that would be, the maintainer onboarding guide.
Um,
I'm curious as to why you're inspecting element inside of GitHub.
no, nothing. I wanted to remove the name just for accompanying, like
Oh,
matching what you were saying.
okay. I was like,
But my brain stopped there.
yeah.
So yeah, my question is, I think it's related to what you said. So if you have the new directory here, we have to define if we want to copy like the whole .github docs repository content right directly into the directory or an subdirectory of the new guide we write here. So that path is the only thing that should be defined in the issue as well. So, or clarified better, like, yeah, that's why I wanted to do this. But anyway.
So it sounds like you still have questions about what I said.
Yeah.
Want to ask
Yes.
me some more questions?
Sorry.
So I
Say
think
again?
I said it sounds
point
like you have more questions, even though I had tried to answer. So I said, do you want to ask me some of those questions you still have on your mind?
No, I guess that's what we have to define and write it down in the issue. So, but I don't know if we want to discuss right now where these should be placed or not.
Wait, I literally just answered that question of where we should be placing it. So that's why I'm asking, because it sounds like either people weren't listening or maybe they didn't understand. And so I should clarify better.
Yeah, but you say that there is that will be a new direct. You will rename this and you will create a new directory here, right?
Not exactly. That's not what I said. Almost though. I did say that currently in the community repository, the onboarding guide directory that you referenced should be renamed. Yes.
Mhm.
But I was saying that the maintainer onboarding guide, which includes the documentation for workflows and GitHub actions, I was saying that those would go inside .github, since
Yes.
that's where we're documenting this. So that's what I had said, and I was wondering what people thought about that.
Yeah, but where should be copied? That's my question. To which path of community repository should be copied?
I answered both. I said that inside of .github where they're originally stored, it'll be inside the .github repo /new directory docs. And inside there, we should have clarified as well the onboarding maintainer guide. And then I said that inside community repository, we will want to have that new directory line by line with a technical onboarding guide inside of Docs as well. Maybe it helps if I write it. Like I'll just
Yes.
write the path.
I think
'Cause
so.
See that people are still like, what in the world is she talking about? So-
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to remove concerns on my brain. Like, if this is the only source of truth of that directory, it's fine. If not, we have to be careful on where to copy. That's the only thing. So
Yes, absolutely. So I'm saying that this is how I envisioned, for example, that it would go inside stored the original docs inside the .github repo. I know it's not that, it'll be like /tree master docs or whatever. But then when we copy it over eventually to the community repo, which is also what you're asking,
yes.
words. So does that make more sense now?
I don't know if it's me, but I don't have it clear yet in my mind. So I will ask you if you can write it down, please.
Oh, I did. I put it in the chat.
Ah, come on. So, okay.
We already did that, Lucas. This has been mapped out for several months now because this is the original work that we've referenced before related to what we thought was going to be 2024. GSOD. So does my comment inside the chat make more sense now, or does it still feel very confusing?
I'm just sharing it here. Okay, this is the comment Quetzali wrote. So basically, this is, yeah, like this, something like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry.
Agree. All that fun stuff.
So from maintain, okay, yes, one map to the other. Okay, yeah, we can go with this by now.
I think that's just very logical, and I think it makes it not confusing also,
Yeah,
because we already knew that this directory was part of the plan, so it just makes sense to structure it accordingly.
okay. Anyway, I would say we should ask maintainers of GitHub repository to agree on this one. Okay.
Why? Because, and the reason why I'm asking that is because the maintainers don't really necessarily maintain their own docs. So we've established the convention of having docs, a directory in all our repos. So to me, that's just the best practice, not really something we need to ask since we already do that.
I mean, it's not about only docs. It's more this maintainer onboarding guide mapping. I mean, it's okay. We can just, whenever we create the pull request, they could just say to change it. But that's what I want to avoid. Like, it's easy. So I can write a comment here in the issue I created and ping the maintainers out GitHub, and that's it. So we are all in sync. So I think it's free to be in sync, and everyone agree. At the end is their repository, so they have to decide, right? That's what I think. Because at the end, what you want to do as well, it's to go into this. Let's imagine we have docs here and the other directory. So at the end, you want to navigate documentation through GitHub as well, right? Because this is going to be the source of truth of such a documentation. So you want to still have documentation available in both places. So we have to keep user experience accordingly to what we expect or what they expect as well
Yes,
as
just keep in
maintainers.
mind that these maintainers are not documentation maintainers. So even in our regular working day to day, they wouldn't really be giving opinions about that. I would still be the person, or whoever else our community contributors would be the ones making these decisions, if you want to call them decisions, because that's how it works. If
Okay.
you're a code contributor, then you help define, of course, the architecture and of the code and the features. But if you're not a documentation contributor, I'm not going to have you define the directory or the information architecture of the docs. No, you don't contribute to that area. So I don't trust your non-expertise. Does what I'm saying make sense?
I don't mind. I am not the owner of that repository, so I don't mind. So you, Lucas, and Huda are. So you decide. I don't care.
Oh, no, I'm
In a
not
good
a
sense.
owner either, but yeah,
Oh yeah, you are.
I am.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot about that. Okay, I guess I am an owner. So see, my opinion actually does matter.
Well, I mean, always matter. It doesn't
Literally.
matter if you are owner or not. I mean, I just want to be like respectful with the maintainers because, like, but this, I mean, at the end, this is gonna be created through a pull request. So everyone of those code owners are free to say, I don't want to merge this because blah, 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 blah. And you discuss. So that's it. It was just an idea suggestion. So it's fine.
Are you thinking, did I understand you correctly? Did you say earlier that you already finished the automation?
Oh, no.
No, right? No, I heard that wrong.
No.
Okay.
No.
So then pardon me, what did you say? Did you say you had started working on it, or what did you
No, I
say?
just created the issue because at the
Oh.
beginning I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know there was some work already,
Okay.
and there is almost like finished work for other use case. So it's just a matter of copy pasting, and there were some pending details like the ones written here.
Right.
With those details filled up, it's just a matter of doing it. If we can have the help of this user fact sheet, it's fine. If not, so I'm happy to do it. But I prefer to give a chance.
Have we, so he said 3 days ago. I know he responded, but have we talked to him about whether he's still actively working on this or?
I will do, but I wanted to have all those details filled up. So now that those are done, I will write here. So, and most probably will contact this
Okay.
person via DM, and let's see.
Do you folks want me to, the question that I wanted to ask was, since I wrote a first draft of at least the workflows part of the maintainer onboarding guide, do you folks want me to go ahead and open a pull request in the .github repo where maybe I create the docs directory and put in my first draft to get started? Should I do that? Yes? Okay.
I think makes sense.
I wasn't sure if I needed to wait until the automation was done, so I thought I would ask, but no, it sounds like I should just keep moving forward, so I'll do that.
And also, you mentioned you asked a question I was quite interested in, and you said, how do we plan on handling the docs weight for better representation on the website?
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is just manually check inside the community repo what is the latest page weight that the technical writing onboarding guide has, so that I make sure that I select an appropriate page weight that goes after that, because I want the maintainer onboarding guide to show up in order after the technical writing onboarding guide. So I think when I asked that question, I was potentially more speaking out loud. Maybe I shouldn't have asked it as a question. If I caused confusion, sorry about that. Does that make sense, Ace, or should I explain further?
Yeah, that makes no sense. But I'm still confused when you say you have to like do it manually. So are you saying for every doc we have
Oh,
published,
well,
you have
all
to
page
keep doing
weights
it?
are, yes, all page weights are handled manually, but we want that because it's the flexibility of manually deciding where you want your doc to be. So that's actually normal. That's how it works.
Okay.
Yep.
Thanks.
Yep. I think I caused confusion there, so my bad earlier on.
Cool. So let's move on next one. Well, I think that's it because I moved back the define OKRs to the to-do column. So from my point of view, we can work on that a bit later. I think we discussed that very lightly discussion last meeting, but I think we have to move forward with the rest of the thing. Not because we are in a rush, like, but we need to know exactly how this will work. So how we are gonna finally do actual work, right? And I feel we are like still not in a situation where we are able to define correctly OKRs. That's my opinion, but I'm not saying this should stay there forever. Like maybe in a month, something like this, where we start doing this, the pull request that you say that you are gonna open the draft, move the draft to open a PR. We start moving forward and adding new documentation. So altogether, etc., etc. We review the videos that Lucas made and so on. So maybe we can start by this later.
I have a question about that.
Yes.
I'm a little bit confused about that aspect because since OKRs I thought were for postman work. So I'm a little bit confused about why the maintainer working group has OKRs. I feel like I must have missed something. So
Yeah.
It's not about, I mean, let's call it OKRs or whatever we want to write down. It's not only about, I think I wrote it here. We can follow OKR model or any other. So it is defining what we are gonna do and how we want to measure the success, basically. So we know we want to grow maintainers, but how we want to do it, we are now defining how we want to do it, right? By improving documentation, by doing some other things, and how we are gonna measure success. So that's the thing. Let's call it OKRs. Let's call, I don't know, goals and metrics or whatever we want to call it.
do we think it's a mistake to keep pushing off setting our goals? Because it seems counterintuitive almost as if why would we be outlining tasks if we don't know what our goals are?
That's actually a good question. I think we kind of all know what we want to do and what are our goals.
Do
Right.
we though?
I mean,
I think as individuals we do. For example, I think that Ace as an individual in developer relations feels very confident in his goals for the day or for the month. I feel per se somewhat confident about what I'm supposed to do as a documentation person. But when it comes to our goals or our OKRs for the maintainers growth working group, as you just said yourself, how are we going to define how many maintainers or how we bring in new maintainers? So I don't actually think we know our goals for the working group, which is why it's been pushed off. But I was just kind of concerned because I think we might be doing that out of order.
yeah, that's sorry. That's if we move into OKR model, yeah. So we know our objective we don't know the key, or we don't know the key results, right? So in other words, we know our global goal, which is growing maintainers, right? That's the name of our working group.
Yep.
So our goal is defined. The point is we don't know how to do it. And we are trying things. And we are now knowing that our goal in short term is going to be documenting how workflows work and so on. But it might happen that during this documentation, we find out other areas that we want to include in that work, right? So it's our first project working together. So our goal, from my point of view, I think it's clear, but there are other uncertainty there. And as you say, so how we want to measure success, it's hard to know. And it's not
Yeah,
only
and I
about
thi-
the number of maintainers, it's more things, right?
Exactly.
guess.
And I think the last time, I think probably 2 meetings back or 3 meetings back, we already like mentioned this particular discussion. And I think we all like agreed that to for now focus on getting the documentation done, and then we can see how um how do I put it? We can see how the amount of impact the documentation we are about, like we are focused on, will bring, and that way we can just like just use it as a test. Because if we decide to like start measuring these things when we don't even have anything yet, I don't see how that's possible.
Yeah. I want to add as well that it is, from my point of view, just my individual point of view. The videos that Lucas created are key on this, because there are some unknown areas, even for me, even though I'm working every day with this, but there are some unknown areas about the workflows and the impact that you said, like just answering which kind of maintainers are potentially going to work on modifying or creating new workflows. Not all of them. So I believe this is just an example. I believe we will learn that from those videos, for example. So that is guiding us to write the proper metrics or trust proper metrics and refine those kind of OKRs or whatever you want to call it. I think that's what we kind of discussed, or we kind of suggested. I don't know who suggested it altogether, but
It kind of sounds like we're hoping slash assuming slash guessing that once we have more docs, we'll have maintainers. I guess to me, that's what it's sounding like. So maybe I'm missing some clarification there.
no, I think no one said that. It's just understanding the users of that documentation. Who
So
are
you think
them?
that writing the documentation for the maintainer onboarding guide will help us understand the maintainers better, and that act in itself will shed light on how to grow the maintainers?
In the short term, midterm, yes. Just focusing on the automation area. Yes.
Okay. Because you think that once it's clear how, these tasks of a maintainer that are more complicated, such as, automations, workflows, you think that once that's clear, it will be easier for new maintainers to join as well? Is that kind of where you're going with it?
I mean, I believe it will be slightly better for them, but
Sure.
not. I think I don't see the relation of what we are talking about
Yeah,
here.
so we are like saying, instead of, I mean, like Kwaseli, you were saying the fact that it will help us like get more maintainers. I think you are looking at it wrongly. So we are like focusing on how it's kind of like help us improve as we move on to like writing other maintenance guide and onboarding other maintainers.
So if I'm understanding you, Ace, are you saying that you think that we're just talking about writing docs and making it easier for maintainers? Is that what you said?
Sorry, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Did you say that we're just discussing that writing the docs will make it easier for maintainers? Is that what you said?
No, not writing the docs. Like now, what I was saying was we are like currently focusing on the automation docs, right? So once we have, let's say, the automation docs ready, of course, we can like pick another project. So while we have that like ready, we can see the amount of impact that particular doc have on bringing new maintainers, or maybe the docs after we wrote it, we didn't get any maintainers, right? So we can use the doc as a backbone to further structure other onboarding maintenance guide or docs we're going to write in the future.
Okay, got it. Thanks, Ace.
Yep.
Okay. So there was no change on the, besides the one, there was no change on the to-do column. The other topic, it's about the videos that Lucas created that are available in a Slack thread in our channel. I'm gonna copy it and put it somewhere.
Also, Sagio, so I just wanted to like say, I think we should kind of like move. So in case you want to touch the OKR discussion, I think we should also like try to like move it at the, it should be the last thing we talk about. So we can focus on like more interesting things.
So we have to move it where?
I was saying maybe next time, when we want to like touch the define OKRs like to do, maybe we should like do it as the last point.
Yeah, the only thing I wanted to say is that I move it back to the to-do column.
Okay, because I'm like, sure, it's kind of
No.
scary.
That was the only thing I wanted to say, but of course there is always like, I mean, we have to discuss everything here. So, but yeah, based on other meetings, or that's what I said. So it was in the in progress column. So I move it back from to do.
Okay.
Even we can move it to later, and that's
Later,
better.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, so there is a Slack thread with videos that Lucas created. Like, I started seeing some of them. Like it. Thank you, Lucas, because it's amazing. So the ability you have for creating those videos, really,
We love
it's
it.
amazing. It's amazing. So I will watch them. I obviously recommend you to watch them as well, because this is the source of truth we have now for writing the documentation. I guess Lucas is more than happy to answer questions. I don't know if it would be better to centralize all those questions, so I opt for using the same thread. And that's it. So once we watch all of them, then we have to start working on the documentation, and that's move us to the next topic.
I actually think I want to try to write that document this week.
Okay.
From
You
Lucas.
mean
The GitHub Actions.
so you mean translating all the videos into documentation?
Yeah, I mean, so far what I'm seeing in the thread is that they're all short videos, just 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 3 minutes. So it doesn't seem like so far like too much content. So that's why I'm thinking, oh, I want to try to write these up this week and put them up in the same pull request that I put the workflows document up. I don't know if I'm being naive, but I just thought it didn't seem like too many videos, so that's why I thought I could just do it this week.
Yeah, I mean, that would be brilliant, to be honest.
Yeah, I want to share a pull request with the workflow draft and the GitHub Actions draft. So I'll share it early next week with both of those.
Okay.
Yeah, it would make a lot of sense. Simply because if Quetzalcoatl like focuses on like writing, let's say the draft from the video provided by Łukasz, so we can also like watch the videos, and then once she opens the pull request, we can then add our suggestions, any questions we have, and then yes, Łukasz can then jump to it, and also it will be easier for us also like track discussions related to this particular thing.
Yeah, it would be good if we can participate. Like, I mean, I'm not saying your draft is not gonna be okay, but most probably all of us should will have things to call out to add or to suggest.
You
based on
better.
our-
I don't want to write this alone. I better see
Yeah.
some feedback and some
Well,
suggestions in that pull request.
Yes. So yeah, I think it's a really good idea. This draft will mean we have the base for everything we want to work from now on. Even though if we see it's a lot of work, we can decide on splitting, or well, we will see. You will see how to manage that. Quetzali, you are the expert here.
Knock on wood.
Cool.
Yeah.
So
Excited.
I think that's all. So we have the North Star. This is how you say it, for next weeks. So we know what to do and how to do it, I guess. And that's exciting, sorry. Yeah, next topic is question and answers. So anything that it's not clear about next steps or something we mentioned? Someone in YouTube? TikTok. Okay, so I guess that's a no. Okay, so that's it. I think we are done. Thank you for your time and see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have fun.
You too.